Hello and welcome back to another live session from me, Kavita Agrawal. So today in this session, we are going to discuss Honeywell Automation. So let's pull out the charts and let's get started with the discussion. Now, the reason why we've selected Honeywell is because the stock has a really strong underlying bull trend, as you can see here. So let's start off with drawing our trend lines and assessing what the trend suggests for us. So we are seeing there is a very beautiful upward trending channel on the stock, but recently this channel has been breached. What does that mean? Well, the channel getting breached simply tells us that the stock is taking under some correction, but that does not mean that the trajectory of the stock has changed. The stock is not bearish because if you see here, it has not yet breached below its previous low, right? With respect to its momentum, look at the RSI on the weekly time frame. The RSI breached above the level of 70 on the weekly time frame last year in May or June when it established its all-time high. Now, this indicates to us that the underlying momentum is still pretty strong, but and this correction that we've seen so far, which on a percentage basis is around whole almost 50%, is just a temporary correction. And because the previous low, or rather the point where this rally, which established the all-time high, did not get breached, this rally is in fact still intact. It did not get violated. So overall, the trend continues to remain bullish. Now, notice here this previous high, right? This becomes a potentially a good target, and let's also move this trend line slightly here to get better interaction with these levels. Um, let's see that, and then yeah, this makes more sense to me. Okay, so here we would expect this stock to give us a uh, significant rally and retest this upward sloping trend line. Actually, I'd like to move this trend line here because or let's keep it there, right? So this trend line is going to pose as a potential resistance, and this previous high, this high over here, is also going to act as potential resistance if the stock does continue to rally. Now, whether the stock is looking bullish in the short term as well or not, we will move down to the daily time frame to assess that. So on the daily time frame, what we are seeing here is a positive divergence was forged between this point and this. Okay, and since then, the RSI on the daily time frame has also established an overbought. So now establishing an overbought basically a lot of time does indicate the continuation of a bull run. So this stock has been in a, I would say, bear trend since this point, which basically coincides with the breaking of the 250 EMA, right? So that is a key observation here. And if you also look at the volume activity was also strong when this break happened, which indicated that more downward activity is to be expected. And then here also, if you notice, the volume activity was again strong on the declines. Here again, the volume activity was strong on the decline. But here, if you see, ever since this previous high was broken or this resistance was broken, the volume activity has increased on the upside, indicating to us that a bullish reversal might have undergone or taken place in this stock. So now the support level of the 20 EMA, which is around this level of 36,000, right? And this previous high around again 36,000 is acting as a strong support for the chart. If we look at the 75-minute time frame, the 75-minute time frame has given the same indications but a lot sooner. Back in March itself, it gave us a positive divergence here. And since then, it has been maintaining this level as a very strong support with only intermittent spikes and I would say stop loss hunting kind of movements, right? And now this consolidation zone has also experienced a breakout. So a pullback is definitely expected back to this resistance turn support level as per the 75-minute time frame. So potential entry, I would say, awaits us at the level of 36,000. Let's round it up to 200. And then A potential stop loss, I would say, would be below this level here, right? And the potential target is this level here at 49,000. So if we use the long position tool and assess what a risk reward ratio is, so the absolute loss is 7%, not a small absolute risk, but target is 35%. Risk reward ratio is 5. Now, this definitely qualifies for an active position by us, but because the risk reward ratio, because the absolute loss is pretty high, the total allocation in stock will not exceed more than 5% in this stock. Down the line, if it so happens that the risk reward profile improves and the absolute risk reduces in the stock because of trading stop loss, then sure, then I might take the allocation as high as 8%, but not beyond that. So this is the trade setup on Honeywell Automations. Next, we will move on to the analysis of Nifty. Now on Nifty, we've been discussing about the strong resistance at 24,800, which has been breached now, and the trend line is also acting as a resistance. Now on the 75-minute time frame, we're definitely seeing the story of a strong bull trend being told. But I think because of this mild negative divergence here, there might be a little bit of a correction down to the 20 EMA. I don't think this is going to disrupt the bull trend that has been established in the market or disrupt the broad structure of the market, but it is definitely something that you should pay attention to in the short term. So that's about Nifty. Next, I definitely want to tell you about our offering. So if you were here last week also, you must have seen that I started giving this flash discount in the live sessions. And in the last live session, I got a very good response. I did not know so many people were waiting for a big discount to come around to take subscription. Some people also tried to take the subscription after the midnight deadline. So for those who could not avail the previous flash discount, here's the new code for you. Make sure you're taking a screenshot of this right now, because now I will tell you how to avail this and what services are available for you to avail this in. So I hope you've taken the screenshot by now. What you need to do is visit exp-invest.in and service offerings. You will see there are services like short-term swing trading portfolio, long-term Indian equity portfolio, and live training workshop, trade and learn. So in the short-term trading portfolio, basically, I will give you recommendations to trade in, basically the trade together program for the short term with a risk reward ratio of minimum 3. I will go through my relative strength quant model. I will pick up stocks where there is fresh new momentum in a strong underlying bull trend, and we will try to place swings there to beat the market. If you want to learn how to do swing trading from me, how to use the relative strength quant model, how to use RSI, how to identify price action, all of the jazz, then this is the program that you're interested in. If you want to do both, trade and learn with me, right, then you opt for this program. If you're only interested in the long term, then you opt for this. What is special about my long term program is that I only give a recommendation there if number one, the risk reward ratio is more than 3, and number two, the absolute target is more than 100%. Without that criteria, the stock will not make it. Of course, the fundamentals and technicals both have to be strong. Technically, the stock has to be at a cyclical turning point, which means that the only thing that should be visible on the chart should be upside, right? And for the downside, we obviously have stop losses that we are going to use. So again, this is the code that you can use to avail a whole 25% discount on the subscription services that I have just told you about. This code is only going to be valid until midnight today. If you try after 12, it will not work. So make sure to make up your mind and make a move on this limited period opportunity. If you have discussions, what you can do is if you have questions that you'd like to discuss with me or my team, go on my website and there is a contact form. Fill up the form and someone from my team will reach out to you, right? If you want to have a conversation with me, just mention in your message and my team will direct you how to do that. So that's that about today's session. Thank you so much for joining in. I will see you again on Friday in the Market Outlook series. Until then, happy trading. Namaste.